Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, we've got a branding and image consultant, author and keynote speaker, and a world leader in style, assessment, and brand building. He is the founder of Image Impact Index. I'm excited to have this conversation today. Thrive Loud listeners, the visionary style interventionist, Patrice Bisiot. Patrice, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Thank you, Lou. Bonjour.
Bonjour, and happy. We're recording this on Friday in early August, and we're calling this the South Florida edition with two people that have transplanted over many years from different places. We also got the memo today because I knew that we were going to be talking about cool styles. So obviously, I got my hair styled up for this entire episode. Is for those who are watching the videos can see how well my big quick coif and bouffant, which I don't have, is there. But a very handsome gentleman we have here in Patrice, who's got a pretty cool story and a cool business. So here's what I want to do, Patrice. I don't want to go all the way back to the very, very beginning. I want to understand how the work you're doing now, how it became your gig.
Great point. Always been in fashion and hair and appearance, but really when I touched Hollywood, which was my aha moment to realize people connect emotionally with words the way they do from the patterns of behavior, childhood, culture, wherever they come from in the part of the world. And that's when I realized that make me beautiful, make me sexy, make me something does only mean something for that person interpreting their word on their own terms. I understood that, hold on, this is branding right there, because the way you present yourself to the world, every visual cue you choose to wear are the cues you offer in the world for them to understand your story. And now appearance is a journey. It's not anymore like you wearing clothes because, well, going out naked, not so good, but it's actually a message you're transcending, you're conveying that you're giving, and that nanosecond when you walk into the room needs to be precise. Therefore, we need to do the within work. And from within, now we're able to really understand all the pieces and going from departure to destination.
Love it. We've had Sylvie DeGiusto, who talks about that there are 7 seconds. That is how quickly somebody will judge you based on your appearance. It's probably even less than that. From when we see people or their entrance into a room, not only the way they look, but the things they say, the way they act. Helping people define what is the right image. Patrice, help me understand what goes into the work that you do to try to almost unleash or unearth the image that someone is looking to portray.
Yes. So first of all, correction, there's only a nanosecond. I done a ton of reading on the scientific fact. It's literally a nanosecond for the brain with your nervous system to all connect together the wire. It's instant. It doesn't take 7 seconds because you don't know, but your eyes are like this supersonic machine that are going down to, up to down and down to up, and that you already made up your mind in that nanosecond. So that's actually important to remember. And that's the thing with appearance. It's too often one fits all, or who cares? I'm not a fashionista. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not someone in the public eye. You're a leader of your own life. Whether you have an executive job, you have 100 people under you, you have your company, you're an entrepreneur, the message and the premise is the same. The moment you walk into the room, that leadership you're conveying in from who you are, and that's from within. That's why also people have this misconception, help me with my personal brand, help me with my professional brand. I'm like, I didn't realize you have 2 bodies. No, I only have one. Okay, great. That means the moment you leave your home, well, that's the same person walking into the workplace. Now you need to understand the foundation of who you are. In the morning, what is your purpose, how do you feel, how you going to convey that to the world. Now you have all the visual cues that you have decided to wear, and this is how you're going to transmit your message anywhere you go, from pitching a client, going on a date, going after that promotion you've been dealing with, a job interview, all of it.
Let's do a little rewind, some history, because I know you're going to know the answer to this. As for those who didn't know this, you were originally from Europe. You're originally from France, I believe, right? Or Paris? Is that true?
Yes.
Do I have that correct? And the Europeans have always been more stylish than Americans. I could just say this. Half of the styles that we get come from Italy and France and Paris and wherever. And I have found in the professional world, when I started, and I'm in my 50s, I started in the early 90s. There was a very corporate American way that people looked at work. There was a jacket and tie. There was certain things you had to do when you went to work, and it was always different when you were dealing with different cultures. And I worked for a global firm, so I got to get a glimpse of it. Somewhere along the line, that changed. Some will say the .com era. Some will say the technology companies. A lot of that have bled over, where the way we present ourselves at work in professional environments has changed drastically. To someone who probably knows the answer to this, was it was it like two things coming together, advanced style and acceptance of, more casual or looks that can be more representative of an individual? Or we were just trying to break out of a mold of something that was just too boring and everything else? Help me understand how that collision happened, because I think if we look at a picture of a workplace today versus a picture of a workplace 30 years ago, it's drastically different.
Yes, I mean, it's all of the above. So yes, I'm going to go back in time a little bit. And you're right. Really, it's when the 80s came around. That's when people are starting fighting the system a little bit. That's why punk rock became a thing. The underground London, the Mohawk. I'm a rebel. I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm not going to go for the rules that society is telling me to respect and obey to. And along the way, the 90s, the fashion got destructured. Things were oversized. So now you're hiding. You're cool. You got the cap on the side. And they started getting to it. Now, fast forward, late 90s, early 2000s, the designers are starting feeling, especially in the menswear. And I was doing one of my clients was with me for a long time in the menswear. And that's when they did Casual Friday. For men, it actually really distorted the idea that a suit now becomes kind of things of the past. Yeah. And yet you go to certain industries, whether finance or law, of course you expect the person across from you on a high level to wear a suit and the tie and everything fitted and perfectly custom and all. And that's where things have started doing it. And now, of course, social media has completely created this chaos of what is it? In fact, it should be a resource, but instead of a resource, it becomes chaotic in the mind, because it's like, should I wear that? But should I wear that? When people really forget that the authenticity that you have within you is you. The jacket I'm wearing today, it's a vintage jacket that I had redone. It was done actually by Thierry Mugler himself, who was a Parisian designer who dressed just every celebrity, and I was lucky to have that suit made by him. I had it remade. That suit is many, many years later, but it's me. It represents me, the structure, the architecture, the presence. And that's how you do. You put yourself first, your authenticity, you align it with your visual, and now that's your brand.
One thing I'm gonna start out. Listeners need to make sure you check out the YouTube video of this to actually check out, first of all, how well put together and what a good-looking gentleman Patrice is here. He's got his look together. He's got great hair. And obviously he's in touch with all of this. And men, I would argue, have it easier. I have had many female guests on this program who have very well represented brands and have big challenges because there is a look that they try to achieve. A lot of professional speakers, thought leaders, authors, social media stars, whatever it might be, they have a brand that they need to try and keep up with. But there seems to be many more outfits that women need to accommodate to. I have a business partner. We just recorded an entire online course, and every time we needed to do something, she needed to go through an outfit change. So talk to me about both of them. Let's talk men and women as it comes to style in the way they present themselves. I guess that dichotomy, and how can you maintain that kind of root component to what is the key element in your own brand but maybe vary it up with the clothing that we present ourselves in.
All right, so there are many pieces to that conversation, because for women, what you were talking about earlier, there is a social pressure component for women. You're right, they have it tough. They have it tough with age, with body weight, everything in between. But there is also this thing of, I'm going to be the equal of men. So they have created their own pressure because now they feel they need to equal men. And that in the mindset becomes, what am I going to wear in order to portray that leadership? Mm-hmm. Now, the men actually don't have it so easy. In fact, you were mentioning earlier, all the Silicon Valley era where it's like, tech is coming. I'm a geek. I'm going to wear a t-shirt where it looks like I slept in it for 10 days and my jeans, they could probably use a good wash. And in fact, now I'm making my clients realize, look at those guys that own everything from, Twitter, Instagram, and all that. Even though they are wearing, because there's the whole thing, I don't wear suits. I'm not, who said you're going to wear suits in order to portray leadership? Those guys, everything is custom. It's fitting their body. There is a sneaker culture also that's appearing where those are limited edition, and yet the jeans, sneakers, a t-shirt, and maybe a short leather jacket or a jean jacket, but that thing is very purposeful. And that's why now men as well, with David Beckham showing I'm a god in the stadium, and yet metrosexual is a thing. It's not a gay thing to go and have a facial. It's not a gay thing to custom your clothes. It's not a gay thing to have your eyebrows adjusted instead of looking like bushes and like, the Grinch. And that's the thing. So we started understanding taking care of yourself is the self-respect you're giving yourself. It's not just an appearance thing. It's how do I first start in the morning in that mirror, looking at myself and say, I love me. And if I love me, now I'm able to exude that energy because law of attraction is going to bring that community around me. And now I'm able to go and pitch client, talk about what I do, and understand what I'm looking for because now I'm clear with who I am.
I love it. It's interesting. I would love to hear almost a case study or an example, Patrice, of how you looked at someone and tried to figure out what works well. Like, obviously, to someone who this is naturally for, and someone who was a stylist and dealt with hair and all of that components, which you could look up on his bio and everyone could check it out, all the stuff that he's done in the past. You have a natural inclination to doing this. But understanding what's right for that person, you need to understand what that person's about. Tell me a little bit about how you work with people and help them elevate themselves or unleash whatever inside of them that helps to define the brand that they want to represent.
Yes, that's a great question because that is 95% of the time the case. They hire me, or at least we're getting this consultation, and they think we're going to have a wardrobe experience, a fashion experience because of my background. And they get to realize 2 hours later, all we're doing is talking about them, vision, mission, purpose, goals, get from the past, what turning points, what did you get hurt by, what did you learn from? And it becomes, of course, this self-experience, which was also for me, it took me a long time to define my title. And that's why style interventionist, which is not for me, I wish I could take your credit. It was my editor for my latest book. And she said, well, when you walk into, you do change the visual, but that's an intervention because now you go from within. And that is what I convey to my clients. It's like, the wardrobe part, the visual part, it's probably out of the 9 weeks coaching, which is about 2 hours weekly. We meet on Zoom. And that 9 weeks coaching that's going to be 20 to 25% of the work. The rest is all the work within. There is no result. There is no success, personal, professional. It doesn't matter. If we have not defined clearly who you are within, your core value, what you believe in, what you want for people to understand of you, there is no brand. Yeah.
I want to understand your brand a little bit. And I think this is going to require a little rewind to a challenging time not too long ago. As everyone who can see him, this is one well put together individual, but hasn't always had it all together. Maybe you could share 13, 14 years ago, what you were going through and what you overcame and some of your things that you've had to overcome to get where you are today. Because I think helping people understand, hey, you don't just get this way. You got to work your way and earn it this way. But talk about your own story and how you were able to find your own value and your own brand from what you had to overcome.
Yeah. So really young, I was fighting the fight. I needed to make money, being famous, being the best at what I did. Although I was very clear with 3 things as a kid, I'm going to choose something artistic because I cannot be in a cubicle all day. Never. I'll be the best at what I do, but I'm also going to be a leader and help people do, something. Didn't know how it looked like. Fast forward, now it's like I'm owning 4 businesses. I moved from Paris to Miami at the age 18, age 19. I opened my first business, and now the success keeps on coming. And I think I got it all figured out, please. So the arrogance of my youth, and then also my issues of having to prove the world who I am. Now I have 4 businesses later on with my business partner, who is my best friend or so-called best friend, to realize 2008, the crash happened. 2010, I lose it all. I lose it all in 30 days, my 4 businesses, because they were all real estate related and design and all. Of course, everybody was losing their property. The market is going upside down. And my business partner makes sure to clean out all the accounts. And that was the end of it. Plus, I owed a ton of money. 2010, now this is, the singing chair. Well, I'm standing and there's no more chair for me to sit. So that means I'm going to sleep in my car for a good amount of time. And now you want to talk about revisiting my vision, mission, and purpose. I realize, okay, hold on. So my value is not just my bank account, how many cars, how many homes I own. It's actually, I didn't have anything figured out. I understood that every watches that I own makes me who I am. To realize now, the value I have is what I've learned, the global experience I have, traveling with my clients private around the world. Just going to places that are amazing, appreciating right here, right now, the sky, the birds, the trees. And that was my self-discovery on knowing now I need to chill. Money will come back. But now let me align who I am. And that's how I'm going to portray that. That it was more so in my energy field. Because I used to be super arrogant about my success. And now I'm chill about it. And I made it bigger and I bounced back and I'm doing things I have more fun with. And that's why I'm now.
I love asking guests this question. I want to hear where this goes. As you just described, we all have the ups and downs of life. Like it's never just a straight line, straightforward. And of late, you've been thriving and doing better than you have, which is why you're here on Thrive Loud. Yet we all have those days, even now, when we're a little off our game and we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Patrice, when you have trouble thriving, what practice do you seek, or maybe what individual do you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
I actually really rely on myself because I knew intuitively that I was enough in my own solutions. It's great to seek help. I mean, some people need people's perspective. I always help people with their perspectives. Therefore, I have been developing this sense of me. And when there is chaos in my head because I didn't get the deal, because this didn't go the way I want, or something, I relax with the chaos in my head and say, okay, enough with the drama. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I eat what I want. I travel where I want. And there's another lesson. My mom got diagnosed 5 years ago with a neurological disorder. And that got me to understand and practice that right here, right now is the most precious moment we have. Not some Buddhist made up rule. Although I meditate every morning, it's very important for me to know, okay. Let's start here. Let's just do it for 10 minutes and not like some hourly. No, 10 minutes just to say, hey, what is my goal, my purpose? Where am I? The gratefulness, which I used to never be until 2010. I was never grateful for anything. Everything was normal. I was hot. I was cool. Okay, thank you. And it's like, no, actually, not so much,
Listeners need to know I'm dying laughing here, turning red as he just gave him the sizzle that he's not so hot, but he's pretty hot. I think he is. All right, so we're going to do the admin part of the show. We're then going to do Fun Street, and then we're going to have an extended version of this show for something fun. We're going to have fun with yours truly here. So first, share with the listeners all the places people can learn about the Visionary Style Interventionist, where they can find you, websites, URLs. I'm sorry, the Image Impact Index, your company. We will put it all in the show notes, but it gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
Awesome. Yeah. So the company is imageimpactindex.com. You have a bunch of things on there, from testimonials, some podcasts that I put on there as well, because, you could just travel and listen to it. Then you can email me at info@talktopatrice.com. And that email address is really for you to any question you have, because some people cannot do it in public. And any branding related question, any appearance, any what do I do with that? You're going on a job interview, a promotion, you don't know how to handle it. I'm happy to help. I'm here to build a community. And talking about community, Facebook, I have a private group, your appearance, your brand, your impact. And that's the group where we meet. And there's a ton of content that I have created or I actually produce myself because I love the camera. I love presenting what I do with passion. So the camera is a great medium for me to express my message. And that's where we can all meet.
Love it. All right. So we're going to do the speed round. We're going to stroll down Fun Street. We're going to do the Speakeasy Pub Crawl. And we're going to start off with a couple of questions. These are all about you. We're going to unleash and unfind all the things that make Patrice thrive. So starting off, Patrice, is there a movie that's one of your favorite of all times, or one of those that if it happens to be on television and you see it, you got to just dig in and watch it?
Oh my God, I'm a movie freak. Yeah, love the movie, love the energy. I used to be until COVID. I would watch up to 4 films in one day.
Oh.
You know, I love the adventure, but I'm a romantic at heart. The Notebook, that always does the trick. That book is, I mean, that his story is so well filmed. That's why they tried to reproduce that story over and over, and they could never reproduce that because to me, it really like rings from the challenges of life and war, and but at the end, how love wins, and I'm a big sucker for that.
Excellent. All right, favorite food. Actually, no. Before I do the food, you're a music guy too, I have a feeling. Is there a song or a jam of late that you've been listening to that when you're on, that's now like it's your beat, it's your go-to right now?
Go-to, yeah. I mean, I love my electronic sound. Yes, I do like more where that beat. There is a dance beat. There's just that metallic like sound, that synthetic sound. I love that. Yeah.
Got it. Favorite food that's not a dessert?
Tricky questions. I love discovering new food. So French, that's an easy way to go. But really, I love from Japanese to Italian. That is where I'm like, no, I'm open to flavors.
Everything. Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert? Chocolate. Anything chocolate.
Gotcha. You a dark chocolate guy or a...
Oh, yeah. Bitter, dark, pure, 70% minimum cacao to really make it like, yes. Now I got the richness, the flavor, the depth,
An activity you wish you did more of?
The gym.
An activity you wish you did less of?
Less of? Working?
A new activity, one you recently tried that you like so much you want to tell everybody else to try?
Oh, yeah. Archery. I just started that and it's great because and it's exactly what it is because the moment you aim for that target, it's not like, what is my next project, my next Zoom call, my next bill? What do I have to take care of today? Nothing. It's you, that present moment, the way you position your body, you listen to the wind, everything is important. And that's how you can aim for your arrow to the target, to the bullseye. And that's fascinating to me. I really want to learn.
I like that. And Patrice, we're recording this right during the Summer Olympics. It was on the other day. I mean, the accuracy of these archers is just incredible. It's like really, it's unbelievable to like the millimeter of how good they are. If I could snap my fingers and you, Patrice, can be anywhere in the world, where are you?
I'm with my mom and I'm hugging her.
Wonderful. Here comes the side part before we go here. All right. So true confession story here. I actually had a personal stylist, and I still do, as it relates to a lot of the stuff I wear, maybe more casually, and a lot of it had to do with when I went on stage. And there was an instance, and that this is a true story, that something had happened to an outfit before I was supposed to present in a live event. And I literally, the only thing I had was a jeans and a black t-shirt. And I ended up giving one of the best presentations I'd ever given. Usually I throw a sport jacket on, but in this particular event, it was absolutely scorching hot. And that literally became the way that I am on the pod, which most people see me. And now where more people say it was just either it was a coincidence that was supposed to come out, or this is just the way it was. And in fairness, I came from a very traditional professional services world where I always had to wear like a suit or jacket or tie or whatever, and I changed from it. So I take all opening things. I'm open. If you were to work with me, how would you go about figuring out from what you know about me or what you want to know about me, what's the best way that Lou Diamond here on this podcast should present himself.
All right. That accident was not an accident. It was a universal point to say, okay, but every time he's wearing this jacket, he's actually not comfortable. He's wearing it because he has convinced his mind that, okay, that is the way your upbringing told you a man in a jacket is a professional. A man without a jacket, terrible, the worst, sloppy, unprofessional. And now that's the thing. That moment, you had your own aha moment. And to me, that's where what the universe wanted to show you. It was just simple as that to say, take off this jacket. This is an armor. And that armor does what? It just surrounds you with, and now you're not able to be fully who you are because you raise your arm, you're doing, because on stage, we move a lot. And it feels like, but well, I need to wear it. My father told me a man without a jacket is not a professional. And that's it. And to me, you are who you are, the way you wear your hair. We talked about it the other day. Like when men say, oh, I have no hair. Well, there's many ways to wear your hair. You can wear it completely shaved to the skin. You can keep a couple millimeters. Maybe you're still trapped into, if I keep it long, I feel like I still have that thing to hang on to, which of course is, okay, not personal opinion, but really like get it to go, but that's the thing, really, because it should be a felony to wear long hair. I mean, the comb over, now that should be in prison.
Those people should be, I agree, there should be fashion or hair police that should go after those folks.
It should be, that should be a criminal offense. And yes, they should be definitely incarcerated for that.
Don't we all want to know who came up with that idea? Who was the person that said, let's take this and throw it over here and then let's spin it around? I mean, we can make fun of some individual that does this every day. We can see him on television if we choose to or not. But yes, it's absolutely unbelievable what we can see out there.
Some guy probably went into a cyclone or a typhoon and I don't know, that just stayed and it became something.
What I will tell you before we go here is that I'm seeking you out because unfortunately my eyes are going. So I got to do something about the eyewear. So I look like I know who I got to go talk to about figuring this stuff out. Patrice Bisiot, truly the visionary style interventionist, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for all you do. We're going to give all the links. Continue to do what you're doing, man. Being amazing. And thanks again for coming on the program.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you. I appreciate it.
To all the listeners out there, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.